gas pipe to be bonded. This is a retrofit. I just started seeing this more, so I'm gonna check on it myself. But that's kind of the least of it. I mean, the strap should be at least 4 inches above the gas controller, so it doesn't shear this off. What the code says is that the bottom strap should be in the bottom 1/3 of the tank and at least 4 inches above the gas controller. This one may be close, but how can you, and that's the code, but the code didn't take into consideration the new water heaters. So if the tank is 49 inches divided by 3 is what? Roughly 19, 20,
15, 16, 17, yeah.
17. So here's 17 inches. How could you be in the bottom third of the tank and be 4 inches above the gas control?
Right.
You can't. You can't satisfy both. So it's best to be 4 inches above the gas
Okay, that's
controller
it,
because
yeah.
you don't want to shear that off. So there's a bunch of issues here. The gas line, technically, I mean, they put in a sediment trap, but the gas line's supposed to come in this way and then tee off that way. So here's the installation instruction. We took a picture of it. This is what it should look like. So you see how the gas pipe comes down,
come down,
of
yep.
it, and then it tees off? But look how yours is
Oh, yeah.
coming in. It's sideways. So the plumber didn't really know exactly.
How could you
what
even
was
do that
going.
with where the gas?
Well, there's no permits for this. I mean, even
So I mean, like,
sometimes
if the gas is coming in that way, there's no way to,
well, yeah, you come up and down.
Oh, up
You
and down.
reconfigure this.
Oh,
and
so
you-
yeah, yeah.
You just make a fitting that comes in through the top.
up from the top, yeah.
And then this will be capped off, and the pipe would be, actually just flip this around.
Yeah.
You know, so it's reconfigured. And then you make this the drip leg, this comes through the top, and this comes out the side. You can do it. This one, the furnace has a whole bunch of issues which I have a sore spot with, but I'm looking
sore
out for your
spot.
health and safety.
Right.
Well, one thing is the refrigerant line, this is the suction line, it's not insulated, so it condenses, so water drips down onto the platform or
Hmm. Ah.
into there. So it still
kind
can
of-
cause water damage, even though it's not a leak, it does
Yeah.
the same thing.
What kind of a fix to do for that? What's the-
Insulate that better with better tape insulation and foam insulation. Over in the corner, that's not insulated, so water is dripping off of here also, see? So it's all attention to detail. The other thing was that they use this flex connector instead of this jointed material. So this is such a big vent, and I guess that's probably the right size to fit, but because of the height and the position and geometry, this goes up and then back down. This has to go up 1/4 of an inch per foot.
So this shouldn't be so
Right,
severe, it
but
should
see,
be like.
these are preset lengths, so you can't cut them and make them
Yeah.
fit. Those you can cut and make fit.
And
So
you had
they-
said that this material would be better over there?
Maybe.
You could-
Yeah, you may have to try it and see if you can get a short piece that would fit so that you can bend it and configure it. But over here also, they did the same thing with the ceiling. You know, that's
But the-
original construction, but
Yeah.
these guys should fix this stuff
So, I
when they
mean,
have an opportunity.
is it like, again, is it detrimental, like to that 45-degree angle?
Yeah,
Do you want
because
to
may
turn
not
and do it so
draft
you?
properly.
do
Oh,
you-
this one?
Well, both of them, you said, like, do you
Going
want it
through
to?
the ceiling, you probably don't have to change it all the way, but you can cut the drywall away so you have proper clearance and put in a piece of sheet metal that's cut to fit that and
Yeah.
you nail it to the ceiling, that's all. That's all, I mean, people do that all the time.
Yeah,
So over here, though, a little bit more difficult. It's a tighter space, but even if they have to take this evaporator coil out, now they use this configuration. This must be a box here, because usually the drain outlets are down here, are down lower, okay? But if that was the case, then the venting would be a little easier to do. So there's a pan in here that collects water
Yeah.
from condensation,
Yeah.
natural product of air conditioning. Okay, so you have to drain it off somehow. Okay, so what they did over here is, first of all, this is the overflow outlet. They never put in an overflow drain or a cutoff switch. At this age, I would expect to see that. They're gonna say it's in the garage, you don't need it, but you do need it. Because if this gets blocked up, see, if you look at this close, the pipes are offset like this. So if this gets obstructed, the water level rises up to here and will drain out.
Okay.
But you can either put in a drain pipe, which is more difficult, or you can get a float switch, which when this gets wet, it like lifts up like a toilet bowl
Oh, yeah,
switch,
yeah.
and it shuts off the power here. So then you say, oh, my air conditioner's not working, it stops producing condensation, so it doesn't keep making a mess.
Yeah, yeah.
So then it triggers you to say, hey, my air conditioner's not working, I better get somebody out here to look at it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one thing, but also because of the close proximity of the vent, you shouldn't have plastic pipe close to that because it's hot.
Ah,
Okay,
okay.
you can put metal from here out, and that would satisfy it. They wrap this with insulation maybe to protect it from heat,
Yeah.
but you have condensation forming in here. This is all wet.
yeah.
I don't, you can't see it, but
Yeah, it's all damp.
this is wet. So if you run this enough, the house is vacant. If you run this enough all the time, water is going to pour out of here and drip out of here.
Yeah, okay.
So you want to tape this up with that, because it's tight. But if you do that, then that might melt because this is too hot.
Okay. So it's gotta be a,
everything has to be figured out
Yep.
together. Okay, which is easy to do. If
yeah.
somebody would
How old is this,
spend
how old is the heating?
It's only like I think 3 years old. It was 2011.
2011,
So
okay.
it's less than
4
4 years. This December it was manufactured. So I go by the serial number. So you got to reconfigure that, which means if you have to come down here to get this angle, then this is in the wrong place.
Yeah.
So you may have to replace the type of evaporator coil box to fit here unless you reconfigure everything above there.
Okay.
So somebody, should have took measurements and figured it
Yeah.
out and not just brought over the equipment they got a good deal
I
on.
know, yeah.
So.
That's the kind of stuff that
Okay.
the owners are probably like, oh, I can't believe they,
Well,
didn't do it the right way.
yeah.
You think you're doing the right thing.
This pipe over here, if you notice, this goes up like this. The white pipe goes up. It should slope down also. Okay, so what you need to do is cut this so you can
Angle
bring this
down.
pipe up.
Yep.
And angle it down. But now this pipe goes to the bathroom.
Okay.